The Siege of Terra is over. The War Master is dead. Humanity should be celebrating, but the truth, the victory we've been told about, is a lie. Because what comes after isn't peace. It's the era of ruin, a darker, bloodier age, an age where the galaxy tears itself apart, an age where the foundations of the Imperium itself begin to crack. This new anthology isn't just a set of short stories. It's the key to understanding the next 10,000 years of Warhammer. Each tale is a warning, a clue, a seed planted for what's still to come. We're going to break them all down. Not just what happens, but what it means. From Ahriman's desperate hunt for warp secrets, to Ilya Revalian's impossible choice between loyalty and survival, to whispers of a carrion lord rising inside the Imperium itself. By the end, you'll see the truth. The so-called victory at Terra wasn't the end, it was only the beginning of humanity's longest fall. The Heresy didn't just break armies, it broke people. Dan Abnett's Fragments shows us the survivors, not heroes, not primarchs, just hollowed-out men and women left in the rubble. Their world is gone, their leaders are gone, and all that's left are pieces that don't fit anymore. It's a reminder. The Siege of Terra wasn't just a war of gods, it was an apocalypse. Then comes Chris Wraith's Homebound. Here we follow Ilya Revalian, one of Terra's key administrators, a woman once tied to Malkador himself. Her choice is brutal. Stay loyal to the ashes of an Imperium that may already be dead, or turn away just to survive. Wraith doesn't give us an easy answer, because there isn't one. These stories matter because they set the tone. They show us the truth the Imperium hides. The Heresy didn't end with unity, it ended with division. And that scar runs straight into the Imperium of the 41st Millennium. Paranoid, authoritarian, holding itself together, only because it knows it's already broken. The Heresy didn't just leave ruins, it left knowledge. Forbidden knowledge. John French's Ex Libris follows Ahriman, yes. That Ahriman, the Thousand Suns sorcerer. Here, he's desperate, clawing for secrets of the warp, secrets that are about to be shut away from him forever. It doesn't feel like the quest of a villain. It feels like the obsession of a man who knows time is running out. This is the seed of the Ahriman we know in 40k, the eternal seeker, the sorcerer who will never stop. Then there's Nick Kime's Fulgurite, not just a cool title. Fulgurite is glass, forged when lightning hits sand. Here, it becomes a relic, a shard said to hold the Emperor's divine essence. For the first time, relics aren't tools, they're worshipped. And that's the beginning of something huge. The Imperial Cult, the transformation of the Emperor from ruler into god. These stories matter because they show us how ideas survive, how scraps of truth become myths, how myths become religion, and how the Imperium of the future is born, half tyranny, half faith, balanced on the edge of lies and dangerous truths. The war is over, but the Imperium isn't healed, it's bleeding. Gav Thorpe's system purge shows us how the Imperium responds, not with mercy, not with rebuilding, but with fire. Entire star systems, cleansed, not to save them, but to erase them. The message is clear, better dead than heretic. This is the birth of Exterminatus, the cold logic of survival at any cost. Then there's John French's Angels of Another Age. Here we see the Astartes themselves, victorious but abandoned. Guilliman's reforms loom. The legions are breaking, and the warriors who won the war feel betrayed. They were bred for glory. But the new Imperium has no place for them. They're relics, soldiers of a past that no longer exists. And that bitterness will shape everything. The splintering of chapters, the rivalries, the fall of the legions into myth. These stories matter because they show us the truth of the Imperium's rise. It wasn't born from unity. It was born from fear, from politics, from paranoia. An empire strong enough to conquer the galaxy, but too afraid to trust itself. The siege is over. The dawn has come. But Guy Haley's After the Dawn, the darkness makes one thing clear. That light doesn't last. The Imperium calls it victory. But the silence feels like something else. A shadow creeping in. A realization the Emperor is gone. And the galaxy will never heal. Then comes Aaron Dembski-Bowden's The Carrion Lord of the Imperium. And this one feels like a prophecy. Not a story of strength, but of decay. A carrion lord rising from the ruins, feeding not on triumph, but on the carcass of the Imperium itself. The image is brutal. The Imperium as a corpse, torn apart by zealots, tyrants, and opportunists. This is the real legacy of the heresy. Not glory, not hope, but rot. The era of ruin isn't about rebuilding, it's about decay. The long, slow descent into the Imperium we know today. So what does the era of ruin really mean? It means Games Workshop is opening cracks in history they've never touched before. And through those cracks, we glimpse the future. If relics like the Fulgurite are already worshipped, what other proto-relics are still out there waiting to resurface? If Ahriman is already clawing for warp secrets, what new arcs could the Thousand Suns be building toward across millennia? And if whole star systems are purged just to cleanse the slate, what else has the Imperium buried? What other truths have been erased? The gut punch is this: the heresy wasn't the end. It was the beginning of paranoia, of purges, of fractures between chapters, of relics raised higher than truth. The Imperium is no longer a dream. It's a carrion empire, feeding on itself just to survive. And if this anthology is the foundation, then the future of Warhammer 40k will be darker, bloodier, and more unpredictable than ever. If you want to see where that future leads, hit the next video, because in the era of ruin, nothing stays buried for long.